Matter of fact, last week I thought I had it together, but I guess I didn't finish editing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I pull it up, and it goes, and then there's like a long pause.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'll get this ready for the audio. I'll get this ready for the audio and for what I'm putting out later on. But yeah, so we're back. We're here. Tonight we are the three amigos. Johnny just said it. You probably didn't hear it. But yeah. Another night of Horror Research 30. It's gonna be another good fun night. A little educational possibly too. We're gonna get some education in here as well. And we traveled to Argentina. I do have an intro this week.
Argentina.
Excuse me?
Argentina?
Argentina. You said you put the G in there. Argentina.
Listen.
Argentina. Puppy.
Puppy?
Puppy. Argentina. Puppy.
You Peronist.
But anyway, let's get this intro going. What's good, 30 slashers? Welcome to episode 606 of Horror Research 30. Make sure you have your passports and your boarding passes in hand because we still have a few more weeks of Backpackin With 30 horror fam. Warning, spoilers are ahead. If you do not want us to dictate the review and spoil it for you, you should break free, kick play, and crawl back into the nightmare. We traveled 6,300 miles from Auckland, New Zealand to Buenos Aires, Argentina for the movie 1978. Released in Argentina, March 2025. Released right here in the US, January 13th, 2026. Directed by Luciano and Nicolás Onetti. Also written by Luciano and Nicolás Onetti, as well as Carmelo Zafora, starring Agustín Padilla as Hugo, Carlos Butelupe as Cancho, and Agustín Ucese as Miguel. Sturdy slashers. What did you think of this Argentinian film, 1978? Did the captors get what they deserved? Did they deserve worse? Penalty, kick your answers into the comments. If you want to score a goal with the Slasher Squad, hit the sub button, hit that notification bell, and you'll never be offsides. Bienvenidos a la locura. Welcome to the madness.
Sí.
Sí, senor.
Buenas noches.
That too. But how's everybody doing? What's good? What's going on? Trevor, how's it going? How you doing?
Greetings. Good. It's good to be here with you guys.
Yes. Glad to have you, man. Glad to have you back. Feel like it's been forever. Feel like it's been forever. And Johnny, how about you? How's it going with you?
Bien. Mi nombre es Johnny. Johnny Hot Película. Es mucho gratificante to be on Horror de Study.
El terror de Señor Sturdy.
Boom. There you go.
Sí.
Brought to you by Extra Fuerte Panadol. There. Got out of my system.
There you go.
But no, I'm good. I got it on my system too. I was gonna try to do the whole episode in bad Spanish. I was gonna try to do it.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you gave up on that one early.
I was gonna try to attempt it though. I was gonna attempt it the next hour.
I mean, technically you did attempt. But yeah, we are in this backpacking thing. I have the wrong background up, but that's fine. No, I don't. I'm lying.
I think it's the right background.
No, it is. Yeah. It's the sixth. I was testing you, Johnny. I was testing.
Okay.
And you passed. Congratulations.
Sí, bien.
But we accidentally flew into a dictatorship. And I'm not talking about right here in America.
I was wondering.
I'm talking about in the film, the Argentinian film, 1978. And I'll say for me, this movie took a while for it to really get going for me. It was a slow burn. And before I get into that, actually, let's dive into our weekly, or not our weekly rounds. Let's dive into our our early ratings. And I'm going to kick it off with you, Professor T. What do you give this film?
I'm going to go with 7, but I kind of want to give it a 6.5.
You want to start with 6.5 and see if you increase?
6.5, yeah. It's not a bad movie. But, yeah.
Johnny?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.
Okay. See, I'm lower than you guys. I'm at a 3 for this one.
Wow.
It just, I didn't really care for the first half of it.
That's
Once I
part
read
I
about it, and
liked.
in that time, once I read about it and all that stuff and the conversations we had, I did like it more. But I still really didn't care for it too much. The second half, I feel like it did pick up, and I also felt like that second half was rushed.
Yeah.
So it just, I'll see how it goes. I mean, it doesn't mean it can't go up, it can't go down, but that's just was my initial feel for this film.
And actually, I'm actually gonna be honest with you. My personal rating, I'm right there with you, cuz. But for professional ones and just to be on here, I'm just gonna go with a 6, because I do feel like, for my personal taste, this is definitely a 3. But like, um, I think it's a 6 for just general horror fans. So that's why I just went ahead and just gave it a 6. But personal rating, I'm right there actually with you.
I mean, if I thought about it and broke it down, maybe I'll give it a higher rating
Yeah,
because I mean the cinematography was great in my
yeah, there
opinion.
are good aspects in this movie.
The acting was
I
great in my
think
opinion.
I think
I
it was
just
rushed. Like my thing is, I really thought the first part of the film
mhm.
was really good. Now I did go in knowing the significance of the year and all that, so that automatically,
Yeah.
oh, and it's something you don't see, often.
Hmm.
I mean, there are other films and things like that, but that was part that was very human, and it was very human. These things were going on in Argentina at that time.
Hmm.
Mhm.
The missing ones and the Desperacitos. Um, I felt there's a moment in this film, and I don't know if it's a film or it's just Tubi, but there is a person who could easily be a priest, because yes, priests were on the payroll
Yeah.
of the military dictatorship, um, tells a subversive youth, a student, a member of the AFR, that, with his last rites and all these goodies, but I need you to tell me, and you give me names and all these stuff,
Mhm.
like McCarthyism with a lot of gore. And what he whispers into the gentleman's ear led to a commercial, and then boom, they're like in a house doing stuff. And it just was such a slap in the face that I actually went back because I thought it jumped.
Yeah, I did too.
And I hate to say one edit could make a difference, but it goes from him just literally speaking it to boom, they're bashing through doors.
Yeah.
And then we meet the devil cult. And from there it's just, which, I mean, there's a lot of really good aspects to this movie, and
Hmm.
the directors, the Ornetti brothers, have already done amazing films. Francesca, Abracadabra. They're obsessed with Italian horror, and yes, their cinematography is great. The one guy writes music, but the film, to me, I give it a little bit of a higher rating, but not as much as I would give their previous movies,
Mhm.
because it's a matter of, like, how are you using that influence?
Trev, do they often use messages in their horror films? Are these
Yes,
okay?
yes, yes.
So,
So this is not like they did a film. Oh, what was it called here? The Waters Left Behind,
mhm.
2017. I'm trying to find this, but it actually is a film that is very influenced by the Mondo film, very influenced by Diodato, but yet again, it takes on head on the atrocities under the military dictatorships during the 70s and 80s, which were actually already running under Isabelita Perón, who was pushed out in the coup. She
and do
already knew what was going on.
and do their films? What I'm trying to get at is, are their films balanced? Like, is the horror and their message evenly balanced? Because for me, and this is where I'm just going to interject my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
I feel that there's a tonal clash with their message
Yes.
and the
Mm-hmm.
horror film. And I
Mm-hmm.
do feel like the beginning of the movie is very deliberately paced, and that's my problem with it, because it feels like they're doing a lot of setting of the table. And at times, this movie feels more like a Narcos Halloween special than an actual horror film. Like it felt like political thriller. Like it felt like they were so deliberately paced to set you into time and what's going on that I forgot that this is supposed to be a horror film. I was a second away from text messaging my cousin being like, "What thriller do you have me watching? Because this is not a horror film." And in the second half, they want to be a monster movie, so they just doesn't balance out for me. So I'm just saying, in their other horror films,
well, like
do they balance
Abracadabra and Fonseca, they're flat out love letters to Italian cinema, and the outspokenness about the terrors of Argentina at that time, which has a massive amount of cultural guilt, are not as obvious. Like this is their like boom. Like, we're taking this head on. We're giving you something that has actually happened, but we're going to make it into a horror film. And for me, although there were so many elements to the horror section, I mean, it looked beautiful. I mean, what you can just go down the line as far as Italian influences. You got the Argento, you got the Fulci, you got the Bava, and especially you got the Michel Soavi in a film that he did called La Chiesa, or The Church, in 1989. So that's a signature of the Orenti brothers. But I do think that this film has an amazing amount of problems with a shift, not just thematically, but a shift that would give Sylvester Stallone whiplash, that it goes from, oh, death, to bam.
Yeah.
And then insert a Tubi card to commercial, and that's just infuriating.
Jesus Christ, yeah. Yeah, because here's one thing. I feel like this movie's 90 minutes. It feels like I think it's 90 minutes.
Something like an hour and 35 minutes. Which real quick, I just want to say what The Water's Left Behind, Trevor. It is on Amazon. It's on Prime Video for $1, and then it's on Tubi for free, and it's also on the.
That's not, from what I understand, that's not as overt a statement as 1978, because of the significance and literal this stuff is going on at that time.
I feel like this film could be an hour longer. I feel like to beat a dead horse. My favorite movie last year was Sinners. Sinners has a message to it,
Great
right?
film.
That movie, that's opening is very deliberately paced like this, right? But it was like a 2.5 hour film. If they had another hour where they wanted, this message is great. What they're talking about, what they want to share with the world about this period in Argentinian history, it's great. But I feel like if you pad out and make the movie a little longer, when the shit goes down, I don't think it will be that much of a tonal whiplash. You can get us to know each of these characters, the shitty characters and the revolutionaries. I just feel like hour and a half isn't enough time to convey what they were trying to convey without having these issues.
I'm gonna agree with you on that, Johnny.
I agree with that 100% too.
100, yeah, because everything you just said makes plenty of sense, and they could have even pulled out. You make this movie another hour, maybe hour and a half tops. Make it 2 hours to 3 hours, or 2.5 to 3 hours. And the reason why I say is because that first half, you can kind of stretch that out more. Like you're saying, you can kind of learn the characters more in that first half, kind of build up to everything. So you still see what they're doing, but kind of build up to the second half where it turns more into the horror portion of it, the horror part of it. Give more, so you can kind of let that part breathe. Because I felt like once that part started happening, it was just like all fast, like boom, 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 and then the movie ended. Versus you have the slow build in the beginning, you have a lot of the stuff they're doing. Keep it in 1978, keep it around the World Cup. What was it, Holland and Argentina?
Yep.
Keep it around that, and then keep the same story, just extend the story, learn the characters and the horror aspect of it. I thought it looked amazing, but I feel you turn it to that, because they said it was like a what they say, like a paranormal horror and some other stuff, whatever. But again, you give more of that feel, and just really bring more people in, like myself, to where you don't know about this story in the 78. So it's like, bring us in, teach us something about it, and then boom.
Yep.
And then boom. Because I would have liked it more like that. I would like to give this movie another hour. I probably would have liked it a hell of a lot more. I probably would actually really liked it.
Having characters that have any distinct character traits outside of literally like being a box, that's a major fault of this film too. There's so one of the really interesting aspects of being part of the junta in this case, or part of the secret police of whatever dictatorship that, whether it be Chile, whether it be El Salvador, whether it be Nicaragua, whether it be Brazil, your secret police are literally the person next door. And one of the I've come across a lot of various things that have portrayed, these atrocities, and portrayed the atrocities in a way that you get to understand how much of a psychopath or how much of a extreme nationalist literally the person you live beside is. By night, he's a werewolf. He goes out, he grabs subversives, takes them out of his home. They're tortured for hours. And what does he do? He goes back to his family. That's part of the horror of police squads and the junta and the secret police, ICE, and things of that nature. Because history, man.
Yeah.
But give us that history. Give us that guilt. I mean, a beautiful example of how this film. Okay, so if you would have taken it from the eyes of either actually, he worked for the state. So the gentleman who disappears with the son of Satan. If he would have told it from a viewpoint of being older, and could have explained why he was doing what he is. And especially if he's at the time a grandfather or a great-grandfather. Like Daniel Salazar, one of the main characters of Fear the Walking Dead. He is like the greatest man who do whatever. But what ends up coming out is in the worst times that he actually worked for the secret police and he can torture anything out of anybody. And he finally gets to unload guilt by actually using what he was trained in to save the people around him. That is a good story. This is a really cool yet lame history lesson.
Yeah. I mean,
if you go researching after this film, wonderful. If you don't, you don't understand what it means to be as crazy and as literally propaganda soaked as it is to be a member of a secret police.
I mean, a good bookend. I mean, a good bookend would have been nice if you had like a story within a story with him older. I can see how that, for story reasons, would make that pop. I know for me, he's actually one of the positives because this movie is so thin on character development that, like, I honestly could not care the least what happened to the secret police or even the the poor people that they end up kidnapping, torturing, because I feel like they made a lot of dumb decisions in the second act. The secret police is so pieces of shit that, like, I didn't care if when they got like eaten by the demon zombies. But you're right. Our main guy, the guy who works for them, I found him to show the most empathy. So he's the one that I latched on to the most. And I'm just like, I hope you make it out of the situation because you're at least trying to treat people like people.
A little bit.
Like the woman.
Like the woman, exactly. And I made a note and I said, this guy has creepily kind eyes. Like, there are moments where he just gives me the fucking heebie-jeebies.
He looks like Vincent Gallo.
And then there's moments where I'm like, he's very endearing. He's very endearing. He's very empathetic. And I can see that he did a lot of good micro expressions with his eyes as a performer. And I really liked his performance, just looking at it from the performer's perspective. But yeah, with the characters though, I couldn't really get into anybody besides him. And that's also why I think the story didn't impact me, because if you don't care about what the character is going through and how they're going to make it out, then that's just a problem from writer and a performer standpoint, because the performer has to give the words life, and they got to understand these actions. And if they don't know what they're doing, that's going to be transcribed through the film, through the piece. And so that was another big issue on top of pacing, was the characterization with certain people.
Or lack thereof at all.
Yeah.
I mean, usually I love nihilistic cinema, but I do feel that the Onetti brothers, in comparison to the films that I've seen that they've done before, are almost purposely riding the nihilistic bus on this film. There is so much hate and so much evil going on.
Yeah.
But what is worse? And there's no human side.
Yeah.
And there's literally we go from subversive students being tortured to one of them gives basically, probably was the fact he heard through somebody that, I heard about this. Let's send them here. They're going to kill me anyway. They'll get a laugh. And then bam.
Yep.
And it's like, wait. This whole cultish thing, this needs to be worked into the story in the front too.
Yep.
Because we need to understand at least how it fits into the concerns of a couple subversive students.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that important? And why is it important that the most vile things are done to the junta?
Yeah.
But everybody ends up basically turning into a literal pawn of Satan. And it's just like, oh yeah.
So that was
everything sucks in this film.
So that was Satan. I just thought he was just a really tall zombie guy. Because I gotta say, the gore effects, the creature effects on this one, that is a positive. I do like that.
They are well schooled in their Italian, and also give a shout out to Baskin for influencing this film.
Yeah,
ooh,
yeah.
Especially when she gave birth to a full size human zombie man.
Mm-hmm.
That was really gnarly.
That was just ripped out just like this.
Yeah.
Just climb right out. And
honestly, if they weren't evil demons, they'd be great NBA players.
Definitely got the height.
They could join the league.
Definitely got the height.
Well, yeah, there's so many questions that, just in that alone. Was that supposed to be Satan?
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah,
was that I just hope that there's some really interesting stuff that ended up getting tossed on the floor.
Yeah.
But the fact that the movie is an hour and 20 minutes, which for today's standards is really short.
That's a SpongeBob special.
Yeah, I mean, and that first for about 35 minutes, I'm actually enjoying it. I'm actually because I know it's, and I'm like, where's it going to take this? Where's it going to take this? And then, and that commercial, and then it's got like the momentum of like a wreck movie or something, it's, I expect, zombies chasing after Brad Pitt or something. There's no subtlety in this film. And, I think that doesn't work in telling. I think the disappointing part for me is it's such an important story to tell, and they've been trying to tell it for most of their careers. And when they actually just grab it and run, it fails horribly.
I just wish they kind of picked the lane. I just wish they, if you were going to go B movie, go B movie. If you were going to go with this like political thriller-esque film with supernatural elements, go with. I wish they would just pick the lane. I would have loved it if they just told a straight story. And then we end on something fucked up like a demon zombie out of the blue, and then credits.
Or I mean, I wonder if this movie would have been better because the brothers, so they both written. I mean, 3 people wrote it, but they
Yeah.
both wrote and directed it. I wonder if they didn't have their say. They wrote it, and then maybe if they didn't direct it, would that give it a different type
So
of?
it was only the Orettis that actually directed the film. There was a third guy who wrote it.
No, that's what I was saying. Those two wrote it, and no, I was saying they both wrote and directed. So, like, say if the brothers,
I mean, they're as far as Argentina goes in the world of horror since like the 2010s. These guys they're it. They make the big movies and horror. And that's another reason why I think this movie is very disappointing. And it's very rarely, and as Johnny and I said, this movie could use an extra 45 minutes easily,
Yeah.
just to make you care. And I mean, hopefully this movie you'll watch it, and if nothing else, you'll take a little bit of a history deep dive because there are some great movies out there about similar subjects.
Well, they'll expand upon it when the inevitable American remake comes out.
that doesn't need to happen. If there's an American remake, if you thought this movie didn't give you shit, that's going to give you even less, and then somehow have an American hero at the end.
Well, no, they could expand upon it.
Well, there is a documentary coming out about Lenny Rosenthal, which also connects a lot to the stuff that happened in this movie.
Yeah.
With AI,
Allen
Trump
Iverson.
doesn't need a Lenny Rosenthal.
Yeah, gamer.
Yeah,
It wasn't
gamer.
just you. It wasn't just you with this one. This was.
I'm going with 6 now.
Going 6 now.
6, yeah.
All right.
We're a couple of 6s and a 3 with a 4.5 on the side.
Yeah. And as bad as I want to raise my rating because I'm like, I just can't legitimately raise my rating. I can't legitimately raise my rating because I feel the story was broken and unfinished, like we were saying. And again, going into this blind and not knowing about the dictatorship and all that stuff in the 78 and everything that happened with that time period in Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Argentina.
It sucks because it's like, not that, because this is the type of thing. I know you're saying, Trevor, like the best thing you can have is maybe going and doing research. But for me, it doesn't even give me the interest to go and do that because they didn't give me enough to where it's just like, holy shit, I need to go check this out some more.
Well, I did research the World Cup game.
I wish it did that. I really wish it did that. I mean, the cool thing about it is the World Cup just ended not too long ago, but I mean,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that would have really helped. That would really pique my interest with this film. Probably with all of us, just giving more detail, more story, more depth, more. Because, like you said, Johnny, you didn't really care about anybody in this film.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, you didn't care about anybody at all, good or bad. It was like whatever the hell happens, and that does work for some films, like for slasher films. At times, it's like, hey, this is a cool slasher. I just want to see some cool kills. This, that, and the third. But with something like this, to where they have this important story or this important kind of history with it, you thought they would have done more. You thought you'd have got more, and you deserved more.
You need an audience avatar. You need an audience avatar.
Yeah. And then to be, like I said, a whole hour, if they made this movie another hour, like you were saying earlier, that's going to fix a lot. That can, well, no. That can fix a lot. Depends on what they fill in that depends on what they fill in that hour.
Exactly.
Depends on what they fill in that hour. But that can fix.
The cut that it's in now, which these guys are they're not being censored or anything of that nature, is part of the reason why I wanted to like this film was that very few films have been made and very few people to this day really understand what all was going on in Argentina and Chile, and that we were actually backing. Like Henry Kissinger in declassified documents said to Vindela, who was the main guy of the military coup in 76, that he would have total support from the United States in intel, possibly weapons, and other items. That's very small, but it was literally Henry Kissinger saying, we'll support you in what you do. This is a very dastardly time.
Mm-hmm.
that this film could have really made an immense statement of in so many ways. I mean, even make it a damn comedy. Like you go through the first like hour and then you learn a little bit more about the guys in the death squad and everything. And Mondoro doesn't die as early, and he's got intel about this new FAR gang and everything. Well, it ends up being a bunch of Satanists. So when they show up, they learn what it means to be tortured. Even something that lame,
Yeah.
I think would
Yeah.
have showed a little bit more respect. And I hate to say it, it's just, I think they meant well and it didn't go off well.
I feel that, and this is for your rating, because I feel like seeing a woman give birth to an NBA-sized demon baby is worth half a point. You should at least be at 4. That's at least worth half a point.
Well, that's why it's a 3. But no, you know what part I did find funny is I don't know what the guy's. I can't remember. I don't know what the guy's name was, but he was the one wearing the heavyset guy wearing the sunglasses.
I call him rapey.
Jacket.
Yeah, that's a good term for it.
I called him rapey.
With him, when he's in the thing, well, spoiler alert, this is a spoiler show, but when he's dead and he's in the chair and the 2 chicks in there, he looked like he's getting a double blowy. they just throw his dick in the dude walks in.
So they showed it.
Balls back. I was like, yo. Why? I was not expecting that. I knew something was up. Like when they were there, I was like, okay, this. First of all, I was like, there's something going on. There's something up because he's not reacting the way that anybody would react if 2 people are down in that area, male or female. And then you see his eyes are just because his eyes are covered with that white cloth and his eyes are bleeding or gone, or his eyeballs are gone. Yeah. And they just throw that back. I started laughing. I was like, holy shit! I was not expecting that. I kind
of wish they didn't eat it. I kind of wish they actually a zombie blew it. At least they didn't go the obvious route.
He didn't deserve it.
Sequel to Frankenhorror.
He didn't deserve it.
And then another scene, actually.
Frankenhooker. Another scene. When you were talking about earlier, Trevor, where the guy whispers something in his eye and they end up in the house. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think if that was the same scene where they were outside, they were digging the graves, right? And they had remember the guy had the gun to him, and made him lay down in the grave. And so you guys seen all that? Did you guys see when they threw the body in the grave that was wrapped in something? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that was who they were questioning.
So then it did just go right into the house. Then if you've seen all that, then it did just like that.
Just right into the house. Yep.
Just there was no segue, and there's a lot. I mean, when you look at the cinematography and the music, set design, just general use of a lot of great material just in history that has so much potential. But to deliver what is honestly a mediocre film that literally, if you blink, you don't know what the fuck's going on.
Trev, I really feel like I feel like you're giving this a 5, Trev. You're saying it's a 6.
5. It
feels like a
5. So if you're saying that, what are you going to give it a 5 to, Johnny?
It just feels like more people might understand.
I think I would give it a
film that this can happen. Oh wait, Hunger Games, Orwell, most of everything that was popular for the past 40, 50 years, nobody cares. Yeah.
I feel like I'm dystopia. I feel like I'm gonna split my difference though now. I think I'm just gonna go with a 4. Cause I said personally it's a 3. For horror fans, I said a 6. I think I'm just gonna go with a 4. Cause I still like the effect of the lady giving birth to an NBA baby. That was like my favorite gore effect. So,
I mean, the secret police got what they deserved.
All of them, right?
And that was, I will have to say, yet again, it's the cinematography, the effects, the atmosphere, right on target. But you can't present a puzzle missing about 30 to 40% of its pieces.
And can somebody explain to me why the head? I'm assuming that he's the head revolutionary or student. But like after he tells our guy that this changes nothing when he like gives him the gun the first time, right? The whole ending where he decides to sacrifice himself, that still didn't ring true to me because I'm just like, you said earlier that this doesn't change anything, and you obviously don't like this guy. Why would you make the sacrifice play? Is it because he's holding the
Yeah,
baby?
I was wondering that too. And then I was like, I don't want to think too hard about this. I really don't. I don't want to actually give that extra cerebral,
Yeah.
movement to this movie. I'm sorry.
Cause I'm like, if I don't like you, if we're enemies, I ain't gonna be like, all right, dog, you get out of here. I got you. I'll hold them
Oh
back.
man, you just been torturing me. You killed my friends.
Exactly.
You killed my parents.
I
You
wonder if
fucked
he.
my dog.
I wonder if he
I
did
don't
that
have balls
because
anymore because of you, but you run. You take that
You
baby.
run.
You take that baby, you fascist. And okay, so this is one
oh,
thing
that's
that
right.
they
Yeah.
did touch upon. That I wanted to touch upon that does add a little bit extra horror to the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So if a subversive was taken by the secret police of
Mhm.
Argentina, the junta, and they were pregnant, how was that handled? Well, that means that they were kept captive through their pregnancy. They had the child then went into the black market.
Mm. Damn, this messed
That
up.
was something that was done a lot. And as I mentioned to Sturdy, there was this group called the Mothers and Grandmothers of Plaza Mayor, which were literally mothers and grandmothers of people who have just gone disappearing.
Mm.
Like Vidala, even on television, said that, well, these people are disappeared. We don't know anything about them. They just disappeared. This is how crazy it is. But how they became famous is so they tie a fabric diaper on their heads, and then in the Plaza Mayor they would go in a circle. At
Damn.
this time, public displays of protest were illegal. But what the hell do you do with a whole bunch of middle-aged and old ladies with diapers on their heads going in a circle?
Damn.
What do you do? And that actually, the images of them, made it to like Amnesty International and all these like major organizations that were just happening. And literally, they're having the FIFA in Argentina. It's nothing more than a big propaganda piece to cover up what the government is doing, which is blatant fascism.
Yeah, I don't think that our guy, the guy we follow, I don't think that he'll put the baby in the black market. I think he's actually going to honor his
Well, yeah.
promise,
I mean,
and I think that baby's
I
going to
mean,
grow. I think that
if you,
baby's going to grow up. The baby has a lot of height. I think eventually the baby joins the LA Lakers and helps Kobe win the ring. and,
well, this is
and
the thing.
Chris.
This is the thing. You mentioned it, and this is why it brings it to mind. And as I said, this film is very nihilistic. It's almost too nihilistic, but they didn't go far enough.
Mm,
It should have ended with him going to an ambassador's house and just taking the child in and walking back into the car. End.
Mm.
yeah, but he made a
And that
promise.
yet again, he, even though there's a connection, does with that child what any part of the junta would do with it. That would have made me a little bit more than, it's like, I'm sitting in the car, there's baby here.
I
We're going
thought
to
a
turn
demon.
this and it's going to become a Quentin Tarantino buddy movie.
I thought a demon was gonna pop out at that moment because it was just so quiet.
It's going to
Um,
go all like Larry Cohen, it's alive and shit.
but you
That'd
know
be
what?
great.
I think I know why the guy let him go finally, though, because they were having a shared experience because they were both getting tortured by demon zombies together, so they became brothers in the struggle within 5 minutes, and that's why he's like, you know what? I'm throwing everything I said about you out the window. You get out of here. You got a life to live. Go.
It's painfully simple. The message there of the tortured person who's been persecuted and would be killed is definitely of a better moral standard than this person. So that's the base. That's what I took from it. But honestly,
Yeah.
that's lazy.
But Homeboy had some pretty good morals though, because he was kind of saying like the stuff we're doing is messed up. You know, he's the one that had a heart. That's why I liked him. He's the only one with a heart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
he looks so much like Vincent Gallo. It drove me crazy. Like I'm watching this whole thing, I'm getting flashbacks of Brown Bunnies.
Wow, this whole time I was thinking Adrian Brody.
It's like
I
a
was thinking,
combination of both of them.
but shit, I guess we can hop into our
let's get to our
weekly
weekly
rental.
rentals.
Very,
Yes, sir,
I
yes, sir.
wouldn't say decisive film, but definitely we had viewpoints on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, before we hop into that, I know you had a few things you wanted to discuss, Trevor. So what I'll do is I'll just pull up the picture, and then you want to just do it like
Okay.
that, or
Actually, the only things I can say is bring up the official story and the missing.
okay, I'll do the missing
Just
first.
those two. Okay, so this is a film that was made in 1983 by Kostas Gavras, who did the film K. No, pardon me, Z, pardon me. And also did such films as Head of the State and The Confession. This guy is a legend in political cinema. The Missing is about a group of parents that go to Chile to try to find their son, who most likely died in a mass execution in a stadium. Very, very good film that depicts what was going on around the same time as this film, except in Chile. And that is The Missing. And it's got Jack Lemmon in it. It's in English, unlike Garva's other films. Highly recommended. And
Okay, you said
it's a well-written film that gets to the bottom of the issue.
Oh,
So,
wow. That's kind of
yeah.
cool, man. A comedian doing horror.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta check that out. You
Well, it's
know,
what was
not
the
a
that's
other
my
horror
thing.
movie. It's a political thriller, I would
Political
say.
thriller. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
what was the other one you want me to pull up, Trevor, or the next
Should
one?
be the official story.
Ooh.
So the official story is a film literally about the coup and what goes on afterwards. And if I remember correctly, it's kind of told from one of the mother's viewpoints. This film received the Oscar for Best Foreign Film the year that it came out. And it is just mind-boggling. Luis Punezo, who's an Argentinian, directed the film. I definitely would put it on the list of Central or South American cinema that one must see. So,
Okay.
but it is unlike this film. It has an amazing story, and you really feel for the horrors.
Okay.
Both the films I mentioned. So if what this movie touched upon interests you and you would like to understand what really was going on from a human standpoint, those are two films that just as films out of the park.
Okay. Nice. Nice. And then you want to dive into your weekly rental, Trevor? I'm going to kick it off with
Okay,
you, good sir.
cool. All right, let me see if I still have this. Okay, there we
Here
go.
we go.
All right. So I guess I'll go from. So the first is Tetsuo Bullet Man, which is the third installment in Shinya Sakamoto's legendary Tetsuo films. Tetsuo, which was originally a black and white film, very subversive, kind of deemed what cyberpunk was. Also, very, very intense, heavy-handed messaging. Very much a film about the extremes of masculinity.
Mm.
The second film kind of goes in that direction. Now, for this film, this is after Shinya Sakamoto has become quite popular as a generalized filmmaker, making the mad detective movies. So, this third part of Tetsuo is a reimagining, mostly in English, good idea that if it stood alone, and even Nine Inch Nails did some of the soundtrack to this. Standing alone, it's a really intriguing film, but coming in on the iconic and legendary and groundbreaking Tetsuo Iron Man, much less the slightly disappointing Body Hammer, I would have to say that if you haven't seen the other two, you'll like it. If you've seen the other two, it will disappoint you. So,
All
not
right.
going to rerun it. Ooh, Island of the Doomed. This is from 1967 from a guy named Mel Wells. He's kind of best known for acting. Um, it stars Cameron Mitchell. It is about a count who opens his villa to a group of tourists when honestly it's just a plot for there to be a lot of gothic imagery and people eaten by his plants.
Ooh.
It's awesome in all the worst ways. If you like that kind of 1960s Cameron Mitchell starring fun whodunit with plants as killers, I recommend it. It's fun. So, but that and it's if you like 1960s cinema, I also recommend it because it screams 1960s.
Nice, nice.
Ooh, okay. John Ford's The Prisoner of Shark Island from 1936. The film is a biofilm about Dr. Samuel Mudd, who back in 1965, in the middle of the night, was awoken to a person with a very, very severe leg injury. That person was John Wilkes Booth. Now, this film follows what happens afterwards, and that is up to many interpretations. But Dr. Mudd barely survives being executed. And with that, we enter into his years at what is Shark Prison in Shark Island, where he tries to escape. But in the end, he actually ends up like making some major medical breakthroughs and is given he's given a pardon. And this is an interesting film in the fact that it's one of John Ford's historical biofilms. And we all know that unlike his star, John Wayne, of many of his films, John Ford was much more of a progressive and a liberal for that time. So right after this, he did Mary Queen of Scots. This is a really interesting and complex film. And I like any of the best of John Ford. I think this is a great film.
Mm.
And I would like to talk sometime about the history films of John Ford because he is, and known and documented, even though he was an asshole, his political viewpoints were much more progressive than Hollywood wanted them to be.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Ooh, fun one for last. Okay, so this has a great theme song, so I recommend looking it up on YouTube. This is also from the 1960s, 1968's The Green Slime, brought to you by Kenji Fukasaku. Yes, the guy who did all the crazy Yakuza films and, crazy shit with, Sonny Chiba, was hired. It was like three different countries, was hired to direct a kaiju film in English.
Oh,
And it's an end of the world film too. Like there's a meteor coming at the earth. So these two kind of cantankerous astronauts played by Robert Horton, who was the original Lone Ranger back in, or was the 54's Lone Ranger, and then Richard Jackal, who's in Starman and Baywatch. There's these two cantankerous astronauts who end up going to this meteor, and they're going to explode this thing. Well, what they bring back is a green slime, and then the green slime becomes these weird little creatures that have electricity, and it's a mess. But the cool part is a cinematographer, Yoshikazu Yamazawa, actually did a lot of special effects for Inashiro Honda, and the effects by Ukoyo Mandoa include Godzilla versus Monster Zero, Mothra, and Atragon. So Kinji brings his whole crew and crew of legends from the kaiju world to make this English piece of crap. And if you can get by the fact that it's an English piece of crap, it's an amazing film. And I highly recommend looking up the theme song. It is as good as the Godzilla versus Smog Monster theme song.
Nice.
Keeper, yeah.
So that's, out of all of those, are any of those worth the weekly rentals? I assume you said the last one.
I mean, the Kinji Fukasaku, the Prisoner
worth the
Shark
late
Island.
fees. Sorry, worth the late fees.
Everything. I would say everything but Bullet Man, and it kind of makes me sad because he's such a talented director, and it's a money grab film. So yeah, I'd pay overdues on some of these to revisit them.
I have a movie I want you to watch, actually, Trevor. Actually, both of you guys, actually.
Okay.
It's called Grafted. It's a body horror. It's a body horror film. A Taiwanese body horror film.
Oh, I heard about this.
No, sorry, not Thailand. It's New Zealand.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
No, because I was looking at. No, I got mixed up with the list.
Thailand.
I'm thinking of how the backpacking thing was going, and I was looking at the list, and I was just looking at the right country or the wrong country, but the right movie.
No, because it's Nigerian.
But Grafted. It's a body horror film. I think you guys should check it out.
All right,
check it out. It actually has more to it.
I've also heard some things through the grapevine, so I would love to hear it, see it actually,
and it's on
and hear it too. It's nice to have multiple sensory.
That is true.
Okay,
Shudder. But Johnny, you are up.
Yeah, I got 2 TV shows and a streaming movie. Speaking of great theme songs, I'm just gonna go right into Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. It is the third spinoff of the Starz crime drama series, Power. A show that I feel like should be getting a lot more love, but because it's on Starz, and let's face it, because the leads are, it's getting ignored by media and the awards community as a whole. I feel like Raising Kanan especially is on the level of like a Breaking Bad, especially with the acting performances. I mean, the plot lines could be a little bit soap opera-ish, but like the performers, the actors are really good on that show. The lead actor is playing a young 50 Cent, because 50 Cent played Kanan in original Power. He's a villain of that show. So you're watching this villain origin story. And this young brother being able to imitate 50 Cent to a T and actually create a character so it's not even like an imitation is amazing. I tell anybody to watch the Power TV shows, watch the original Power, watch these spinoffs, because these spinoffs are really good and really entertaining. And it's a period piece. It's set in the early 90s. So, if you were a child of the 90s or an adult in the 90s, it's kind of nice revisiting the 90s for about an hour every week. This is his final season. Tonight, actually at midnight, is its final episode, series finale. So, it's a good time to catch up. So that's Raising Kanan.
Yes, sir.
Excellent theme song. Another show that has another excellent theme song is 50 Cent's new show that he's producing, Fightland.
Wow.
It is a boxing crime drama. If you can actually mix boxing and crime drama. He did it. It's set in good old London, England. And I'm worried about this show because the show is really good, but I feel like a lot of Black Americans, when they hear, "Oi, hello, Gov, top of the morning to you, Gov. I'm going to go and sell these drugs, mate." that like a lot of black people kind of just tune that out when they hear the "Oi, hello." So when they hear it, but black people, please give the show a chance. 50 Cent's name is on it. It's a really good show. It's a really good theme song. It's on the second episode tonight. And yeah, so it's a boxing drama. You follow this guy named Duke, who is a prolific boxer. He ends up going to jail for 7 years because he ends up beating a man to death for killing his brother. Turns out it was a frame job by this guy, his boxing promoter, who happens to be the biggest drug lord in good old England. So he is getting his revenge on in this one. And it's a really, really entertaining show so far. And so that's Fightland. And that comes on right after Raising Kanan. So 1 a.m.
Two TV series. Nice.
And then the last one, Avatar Aang, The Last Airbender. Avatar The Last Airbender is one of the greatest TV shows of all time. Has the richest storytelling for a children's TV show. The animation is amazing. It's on par with any type of anime. This is its movie spinoff. And this movie was actually supposed to go to theaters in October. But the fascists at Paramount decided they're going to put it on the streaming service and not give this movie a chance to make its own mark in the movie theaters. But this movie absolutely should have been played in the movie theaters. The animation style is amazing. It is a wonderful continuation of one of the greatest TV shows ever. You follow Aang as an adult this time. In the original show, he was a 12-year-old boy who was the last airbender. He had this responsibility as the Avatar to learn all four of the elements to fight the Fire Nation, who is taking over all the countries in this TV series world. And his entire culture gets wiped out when he finds out he's the Avatar. And he wasn't there to protect his culture because he was afraid of the responsibility. So he gets frozen in ice for 100 years. So he thaws out at 112 years old. And he's physically a 12-year-old boy, and he has to be this leader and fight this war. This movie takes place after the series. The 100 Years War is over. He's an adult. Wow. He still carries the guilt of abandoning his people, and it's about him wrestling with the responsibility of being this great world leader and honoring his culture that he abandoned and was mercilessly executed 120 years before at this point in the timeline. Really good show. Really good follow-up. This movie should have been in theaters, and shame on the fascists at Paramount who wants to listen to the Orange Man and decided not to give this movie a chance in the movie theaters.
All right. I guess it's on me now. So,
and they're all worth the late fees.
They're all worth the late fees for you. Okay. Well, as you know, we reviewed Masters of the Universe a couple weeks ago on on Popcorn and Pints, so I figured He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, why not check it out again? Why not give it a little rewatch? It wasn't something that I watched a lot as a kid growing up. I did watch it though, and it came out in 1983, so it came out 2 years before I was born, and it actually stopped in 1985, the year I was born. But it's fun. Like it's something I can tell you right now. I couldn't watch everything. I think it was like 100 episodes or something. It's like 2 seasons, like 50 episodes each. I can maybe do 10, if that, and then I'm good on He-Man.
What got me was the PSAs that are animated PSAs with He-Man at the end. That just brings back memories of my childhood immensely.
Yes.
He-Man.
It's just our word from Eternia.
It's okay. Like I'm not
run in front of that car, kids. You know?
It's one of those things that I'm glad I went back to check out again. But it's just like I know this is one of those cartoons that I can just go and watch the whole series because it just doesn't do it for me like that. So I'm glad I watched it. I may watch a few other episodes, but it is what it is with that. That. The movie though, check that out. The new one, not the one from '84.
I mean, watch both. If you're high, watch both.
And then Street Sharks. Well, I'll never tell you not to watch a movie. I'll just say watch at your own risk. And then Street Sharks, which came out in 1994. I did enjoy this. I had more fun with this. I actually watched 2 episodes of this and 1 episode of He-Man.
I'm sorry to interrupt you so early, but wasn't this based on a toy?
Yes.
He-Man, yes.
Okay, good. That's what I thought.
Yep.
He-Man and Street Sharks.
Yes,
Street Sharks.
actually,
Oh,
yes.
Street Sharks.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that about
Yeah.
Street Sharks.
Mhm.
Yeah, Vin Diesel has like a whole after the show, cuz go on YouTube, watch, type in Vin Diesel Street Sharks. He has a whole commercial where he was playing with Street Sharks. Watch that.
Oh my god!
I know I'm there.
I'll have to now. But again, this was another one. This one I can watch. I can see myself watching more of it. It's just I don't know how many episodes I can handle at a time because it feels like, and I'm sure it is. I know you said the toys too, but it feels like a knockoff Ninja Turtles, just not done as well. Because it's basically, you know what I mean? It's basically the same. You have the leader, you have the tough one, you have the silly. They're all kind of silly in their own ways, but you know what I mean? Just the kind of, it's fun, it's cool, but it's something that, again, I don't know if I can't watch every single episode of it, but I can see myself going through a few episodes and kind of having a fun time with it. And, you know, kind of going from there, I guess. And then last but not least, Eli Roth's Ice Cream Man. So me and the wife went to go see this. They had for the theater we went to, they call it a mystery horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was $5 to go see it.
Okay, that's worth it.
It's a fun movie. I know it's getting a lot of hate, and fuck all that bullshit because people just like to cry and complain about everything, or just bitch, just a 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 bitch. Stop being bitches. The movie's okay. It's not a great movie. Like, it doesn't have a great story. It's a fun slasher. It does use some AI stuff, which I know ruffled some feathers, which I understand. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. And then people don't like Roth. Whatever. I get that too. But like the way that they bash this movie and talk shit about it, it's nowhere near as bad as what people are saying. It is worth a watch. It's worth the late fees. None of these that I watch are worth the late fees. They're all worth a watch. Maybe wait for it to come out on streaming. It's one of those films that I did actually want to go to theaters to see. So I got to see it anyway, and I only had to pay $5 for it. So I'm not mad at that at all. Yes, sir.
So, because I kind of heard that he was doing a film called this. I don't follow Roth as much as I used to. But is it a remake of the 1990s slasher with Clint Howard called Ice Cream Man?
No, it's not.
Damn.
It's different.
Okay.
Which I would have preferred that.
I mean,
or a sequel. I guess Clint Howard wanted to do a sequel to it. But I mean, again, it's a fun horror film, and actually they used the kids as the killers, which I thought
okay.
Which I thought was a very, very cool twist to it. But at the same time, it's decent, it's fun, it's worth the watch. It has some cool kills, some fun kills, some funny scenes with the kids. With the kills and stuff. Like, I'm gonna spoil this one. There's a part where they chop some dude's hand off and they start playing tag, but the way they're doing it is holding the hand and tagging someone with the hand, saying, "Tag, you're it." And the next kid grabs the hand and runs around saying, "Tag, you're it." So you're gonna get some fun, silly stuff like that throughout the film. And again, like I said, it's definitely worth a watch. It's not worth the late fees. I'm not mad I saw it, but I saw it. I saw it. It doesn't deserve the hate that everybody's giving it. I disagree with that. I understand the AI portion of it and hating on that, but as far as overall the movie, stop that bullshit, people. Stop that rage bait bullshit. It's corny. It's stupid. It's played out. Just have a discussion about it.
I mean, Eli is a hateable person.
But I mean, you could say that about most of Hollywood. If you look and dig into their dirt, you can say that about most of Hollywood. And people, if it's a better film, if it's someone that they like, or they choose to ignore some of the egregious things that these people have done, they'll separate that from the art. So I'm like, just separate his bullshit from the art, because at the same time, we could look at it like, and Mick pretty much said something like this. And I'm not saying what he said verbatim, but there's others that worked on that film that have nothing to do with anything that any of these nasty ass people did. I'm not talking about Eli in this case because I don't know his history or whatever. But you know what I mean? Like how people can just someone did like, okay,
it's kind of like how it's kind of like how you still listen to Diddy music. Yeah.
No, not at all. Because a lot of his solo shit sucked. You know?
At least you've buried R. Kelly, hopefully.
Are you in the minority of the you really enjoy it? Most recent reviews I've watched thought it was so or not. Honestly,
I hope Grandizer know this movie's certified fresh. Like he's not in the minority; he's actually in the majority.
no. Grandizer.
I thought it was kind of funny what little I saw.
It was fun. It was funny. I had a good time with it with Grandizer, and actually, a lot of people I talked to really enjoyed it.
Yeah, this has like an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, well, fuck Rotten Tomatoes.
No. But 8 out of 10 critics liked it. That's all I'm saying. He said you're in the minority, but 8 out of 10 critics like this movie.
But I'm saying fuck Rotten Tomatoes and fuck critics. No, fuck all that
shit. Okay.
I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes. I really don't. I trust people that sit down, and I'm not talking about every single podcaster out there because fuck that, because a lot of race bait and all that bullshit. But ones that actually sit down and discuss and have honest discussions about a film, whether they love it or hate it, like what we do, that's what I listen to the most. There's a face behind it. Okay.
Well, 8 out of 10 of those guys enjoyed the movie.
Fuck those guys.
So you're in the majority. You're not in the minority.
But yeah, I did enjoy that. The cartoon. Not as much as I used to, but I wasn't a huge fan of the cartoon.
I'm in the minority.
You didn't like it?
I didn't feel that movie. I was not feeling that movie.
It's cool. It was a good time. It was a fun time.
I watched about a third of it, and it was really trying hard to be satirical, which was refreshing versus the previous film that was unintentionally satirical and funny. Mm-hmm. This one at least was going in that direction on purpose. So
yeah, I fell asleep in that bug. I fell asleep in it, and I woke up in it. And I woke up in the third act in the battle.
I don't know. I just didn't feel Skeletor either.
That's the one thing that I liked. I like Jared Leto's creepy ass Skeletor.
God, that was
the visuals of Skeletor. Yeah, unfortunately, the visuals of Skeletor was awesome.
Talk about people who are horrible.
Yeah.
I wish we could have had the original voice of Skeletor, because you don't need a voice. You could have anybody do the voice while you're in
just
that.
Just the laugh alone.
Well, he's like 95 years old now, the guy who played the original Skeletor. Yeah, so I think he's out the game.
You think?
I think he's out the game, yeah.
But if he can't, I'm sure somebody can at least imitate.
Do an imitation,
sure somebody can do that voice. If the original can't do it. Jared didn't
if the original would probably sound like Tom Waits doing Skeletor.
Yeah, He-Man.
Yeah. But we are gonna get going. But before we do,
movie
time.
Oh yes, I will get to that. Trust me, I will get to that. Professor T, let them know where people can find you.
ambassadorradio.org. From there you can find my socials. If there is stuff, well, there's a lot of stuff from previous years, but if you go to the YouTube, you can catch shows and things like that. And if you just stay within the socials, if something will be coming, you'll know firsthand if you follow them.
Yes, sir. And Johnny?
Yes. Thank you. Follow me on Facebook. The Johnny Sturdivant. If you want to receive my written reviews, go to sawsomething.com for my written movie reviews and my video reviews. If you want to bless me with your shekels, please go on sawsomething.com and watch my video reviews. I do have a couple of live streams coming up. A friend of the show and a member of the audience right now, Scene Snobs, myself, Ruben Ryan, and another friend of mine, Austin. We're going to do a big breakdown of the biggest movie of the year, Spider-Man Brand New Day. Do a whole spoiler discussion. That should be up at some point next week as a live stream, so check that out. Okay. Sign up to my Patreon, Johnny Streams on Patreon, where you can watch all my unedited live streams, because when they're on Facebook and when they're on YouTube, they're going to be heavily edited. But if you want to watch the original stream as is with all the flubs and all the ums and pauses and curse words, check out the Patreon. Check me out here every Thursday, Backpacking. And that's all I got.
Nice. And then this Saturday over on Popcorn and Pints, it's that time. The Nolan, ending with the Nolan thing this weekend. We are going to be discussing following
the second biggest movie year,
The Odyssey. So be on the lookout for that. Come and check us out 7:00 Eastern time every Saturday at 7:00 Eastern time. We'll be over there discussing some films and having a great time. And then make sure you have this boarding pass. So next week you can be with us for The Severed Son. We are going to the UK for this one.
Jolly old England.
Smells a bit like folk horror to me.
We're going to jolly old England.
Okay.
It is. It's folk horror. Which I'm always excited to see like a folk horror thing in whatever type of wherever it is in the world, as long as the story does it justice. Let's hope that the story does it justice next week. Let's cross our fingers.
It's kind of the key for writing a good screenplay, a good story.
There's going to be a lot of accent work next week.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's going to be a lot of accent work.
So let's give us a good story. And again, we just reviewed 1978. So if you want to see that, check it out. But we will be here next week at 8:00 Eastern time. With that being said, I'll see you in your nightmares.